Before we get too far into this video, I just want to give it a little bit of context. The clips on this video were recorded over a course of 4 years. Don't worry, it didn't take me 4 years to do the conversion. It's not that difficult. What happened is I did the front brake conversion on this car 4 years ago, and I'd done the clips for it. I then never recorded doing the rear conversion on it, so I never uploaded the video. I now have another Fiesta, which I did an ST180 conversion on. I did a brake conversion on that. I did an ST150 rear brake conversion on that, which is a completely identical job to doing in the ST170 conversion. So what I have done is I've done the rest of the video recording clips on my black Fiesta, which isn't this one. I'm down the yard with this one. This one is no longer on the road. It just chills in the garage. And I will finish the rest of the clips on that car. So you will see me do the exact same conversion on that car. So we're just going to see the colour of the car change, and we're going to do the same conversion, and the brakes aren't going to be blue, they're going to be black. I may state in this video that the conversion is very straightforward and very simple to do, and it is. The ST150 brake conversion is complete bolt-on kit. There's absolutely nothing you have to do to modify to fit it other than cut the rear axle, which I'm going to show you how to do in this video. The ST170 conversion, once again, is a very simple conversion. There's just one extra step you have to do to this, which requires you to do a little bit of modification, and that is to drill out your front hubs. Your front hubs on the Fiestas are a 10mm hole. They need to be drilled out to 12mm. Other than that, it will bolt straight on. The only other thing you need to know when doing this conversion is you use the front brake lines off of one of these Fiestas on the rear. So you need two sets of front brake lines, one to use on the front and one to use on the rear. And then you can bolt it straight on, bleed it up, and away you go. You're going to see how to do all of this in this video, so please stay tuned. Alright guys, how's it going? And in today's video we're going to be putting a little bit more attention to the daily driver, the Ford Fiesta. What we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be fitting ST170 front brakes and rear brakes to the Ford Fiesta ZS. So you can do the ST150 brake conversion, which is a slightly smaller brake but is a complete bolt-on swap. Other than that, this conversion is pretty straightforward. All you've got to do is drill out these the hubs for the front of the car, and the fronts will bolt straight on. Use the standard Zetec S brake lines that are already on the car. Alright, so over at the Fiesta now, the first thing we've got to do for this is we need to strip down the brakes like you would when you're doing discs and pads on it. So get the caliper off, get the carrier off, and get the disc off. I'm going to do that now. Obviously I haven't stripped it all down yet, but I'm just going to mention one thing. Whenever you're doing taking the calipers off of a car, because we are obviously taking the calipers off, when you're undoing this screw, if you don't have braided lines, you've got the rubber lines, you can put a pair of mole grips on the line and clamp the line shut so it doesn't drain the entire brake system, and all you've got to do is bleed the one caliper that you've changed. Obviously I'm doing all my brakes, so I will end up technically doing an entire brake fluid change on it anyway, but I will be clamping these off. Alright, so things happen quite a lot quicker than I expected them to, so we're at this point now. Obviously if you're watching this, you're probably wondering how to do this conversion yourself, so I'll show you exactly what I've done so far. Basically, you don't need to elongate the holes in the back of the hub here. All you've literally got to do is drill it out to a 12mm size, and because the bolts are a little bit bigger, that hold the carrier in position, so there's no trickery there. All you've got to do is literally drill the hole a couple mil bigger. These are the old ones. As you can see, they're quite small. I think they're a 10mm, and then these ones are obviously quite a lot fatter. They're a 12mm. This is the ST170 disc that is on here now, and yeah, it fits on there just perfectly. I still got to do these up, but it fits on there absolutely perfectly at the minute, so we should have absolutely no problems doing this conversion. I'll update you once I've got it all together and show you exactly how it looks. Alrighty, so I've done everything I can for tonight. I've completed the front brakes completely. We have the discs and pads on there, and the calipers with the ST170 front brake conversion is now done with yellow stuff pads and drilled, slotted and grooved discs. This should improve the braking performance quite a lot. It all seems to bolt on absolutely perfectly fine once you've drilled out the holes in the back that I mentioned in the last clip. So everything's together, everything just bolts straight up. I've gravity bled the front brakes now, and I'm just going to stick the wheels on. Alright, so the front wheels are on, and as you can see, they're all in there. These brakes fill the wheels so much more than the standard ones did. These wheels are 16s, they're OZ Racings, as you can see. It's got stamped on there. I'll tell you what, you would not get you would not get these brakes underneath a 15-inch rim. You would have to run a 16 on a Fiesta if you want to run ST170 front brakes. Alright guys, how's it going? So yeah, in today's video we're going to be doing ST150 rear brakes on a ZTEC S or just standard Mark 4 or Mark 5 Fiesta. You're going to need a few bits to do this one, and I'll show you everything you're going to need. First thing you're going to need is a set of calipers and carriers for ST150. You're also going to need a pair, I've only got one here, one's already on the car, a pair of ST150 rear hubs. Obviously you want good wheel bearings as well, so make sure you've got good wheel bearings. And you're also going to need ST150 handbrake cables. See, I've already been quite busy and I've already stuck the handbrake cables on this, both sides. They are sided. I will show you quickly. The offside rear has the green label bit on it. They are sided, one is shorter than the other. The green one goes on the offside rear. The handbrake cables are really, really easy to install. I'll just show you that now. Okay, so we're underneath the car. ST150 cable, ST150 cable. This is your standard Fiesta linkage. All you got to do is put the ST150 inside the standard linkage. So you take your old handbrake cables off and you remove this bad boy from your old cables and put them onto your new ones. These will clip into the standard holes. They're not very nice, but they will stay in there. So that's how you do that. I have done ST150 rear brake conversions before, and I've always cut out this chunk here. See, I was always under the impression that this allows for the clearance on the handbrake cable or handbrake mechanism. I'm going to quickly offer it up before I cut this, just to make sure that it does, because I've never actually looked myself. I've only gone off of what other people have told me. So I'm just going to have a look and confirm that. And if that is in the way, then that is why we have to cut them. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick the carrier on and stick the caliper on and just see what sort of clearance I've got. So let's do that. Just remember that I'm only doing this so that I can show you why we have to cut this. You can see there that the bracket hits on the rear axle. So all we have to do, I mean, this literally bolts up, no issues. All you've got to do is cut this bracket out, well, a little bit out of this rear axle, which isn't a problem. So we're going to go get the angle grinder, we're going to cut that out, and then it should bolt on, not a problem. Okay, so the angle grinder has been, and so has the paint. So yep, just cut like a nice little section out of there. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. It might need a little bit further, if anything, to go further to the left. But yeah, cleaned it up, got it looking half decent, and then stick a little bit of paint over it just to stop a little bit of corrosion. Not that I'm too worried. This rear axle won't be staying forever. I'm going to clean up another one and put some racy poly bushes in. I've only got the blue ones in this one, so I'll swap them over at some point. Yeah, so that's how you do that, and we're just going to stick on these bad boys over here now. Obviously, if you are going for final obviously if you are going for final assembly at this point, don't forget your discs. You're going to want them on there. So on this one, we've gone for a set of EBC yellow stuff pads and slotted rear discs. The slots just help keep the brake temperature down a little bit, considering they're just the rear brakes, and we're only going to be running about 200 horsepower. These should stay cool enough, but obviously time, a little bit of trial and error is going to prove us either right or wrong. So yeah, this should be a good starting ground, something to start with. So let's get them on the car. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, brake lines. You're going to need brake lines. The rears, the standard rears on any Mark 5 Fiesta are not going to work. So what you need to use is the front brake lines off of your Mark 5 Fiesta. Yeah, just order yourself a set of fronts and stick them on the rear. They will fit absolutely fine and they will do the job absolutely perfectly. In this instance, I have gone for Hell Performance braided brake lines. I've used these before and with much success. I've never really had any issues with them. Well, I say never really. I've never had any issues with them. I've been running them on my daily, my little Fiesta over there, and I've also got them on my Triumph, and they work absolutely fine. So I cannot rate these things enough. They do the job. Okay, so once you've done all of that, you've got your caliper on, your pads and discs in there, got your handbrake cable on, located in the hole as it should be at the back there. You're done. All you've got to do now is rinse and repeat this process to the other side of the car. And we come around here, just like that. Rinse and repeat, and both sides are done. That is how you do an ST150 rear brake conversion on your Mark 5 or Mark 4 Fiesta. And that will be it for today's video. I hope you found it very interesting, or at least informative. Don't forget to check the description of this video so that you can see the parts list that you will need to do this conversion yourself. And please do not forget to like and subscribe. I will be doing more uploads in the future, and it's more than likely going to be Fiesta content and a little bit of Triumph content. So if you're interested in any of that, please make sure you are subscribed and have that notification button pressed, and then you'll be able to get informed when my next upload comes out, which normally takes me about 3 years, but you know, at least it ain't gonna do you any harm being subscribed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.